All right, Alexis. Once again, my name's Griffin with LC Financial Group. I work with Ben, who is not going to be able to be at this call, just because I forgot that he already had another scheduling thing at this time. And then Ryan Lodi, CEO, had told me you reached out, and I think that was through Facebook. And then now here we are on this call. Obviously, already we talked about how you are experienced. You currently, I believe, you get an hourly or salary plus your commission during your open enrollment. You've been doing this for more than 5 years, like
Correct.
7 years.
So I just hit my 8th anniversary this month.
Wow, congratulations. That's awesome. So,
Thank you.
I don't know what it is in Medicare, but in life insurance, we'd call you an eight percenter because in the life insurance industry, 92% of insurance agents fail after their first 3 years. And that's just according to the NIPR and National Insurance Producer Registry.com. So I'm here to answer any questions that you have, anything that you want to know about. I'll give you it to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I know
Mhm.
you said that you guys represented the top carriers nationwide. I believe you stated that you guys sell in all 50 states.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
I'm licensed in 33, but you have the ability to write business in all 50. There are some states that are weighted or prioritized a little bit more, like some of your basic ones, like Tennessee, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri. Kind of the southeastern, kind of like that belt. Like for example, Utah, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota. Those are not as popular, I think, for insurance agents in general,
Right.
but yes, all 50 states you have the ability to write business in.
Awesome. I think I have maybe 25 licenses. Um, my question with that is, as you guys are an FMO, correct?
So, um, they got the IMO and, FMO, that's actually a term I'm not as familiar with. Um, Meaning, let's see. FMO is a field marketing. I guess you could say that because, um, yeah, yeah, there's IMOs and FMOs. So, yes, we have 8 different carriers that we represent for Medicare,
Mm-hmm.
and they're probably all of the ones that you know and maybe like Humana, United Healthcare, Aetna, WellCare, Devoted, Freedom, Optimum, and then there's like one or two more that I haven't used.
Okay. Do you guys help pay for like C credits or the AHIP or any non-resident license or E&O or anything like that?
Great question. I believe you're already 2024 certified right now,
Yes.
but that annually, I believe that AHIP used to be something that we covered, but now I think that $250 for AHIP is at this moment paid for by the individual themselves, and then we do pay for their E&O, which is
Okay.
cool. That's through Innovative Financial Group. They cover that. Um, that's a good one that they cover. The CRM, the customer relationship management tool, Convoso is what we use. That is provided and paid for by us, especially when you're on live transfers. Live transfers are free during the open enrollment and the annual election period. Those two periods of 6 months out of the year. The other 6 months, I believe that there's a small fee if you want live transfers. The bigger part of that fee is covered by us. So essentially, almost the entire year, you're not paying for anything except like, your licenses and AHIP. Those are really your only costs. Oh, you get to keep your book of business too. And that's part of the reason I think that not every single thing is free because you get to walk away with your clients if you send somebody up, which is uncommon when the leads are free.
Yeah,
You get to
super
keep your book of
uncommon.
business. So
That
this
is
is like a
awesome.
big one. Now we're very confident that when somebody comes to work here, there's really no reason why they couldn't make it work for themselves if they just. There shouldn't be any reason you'd have to go anywhere else unless you just didn't like the person that you're working with. That's the kind of the way we look at it.
Yeah,
you
because
know.
like you said, I'm looking for, I don't think I was talking to you, but on when I had message, I'm looking for an agency that I can be with for the next 5 to 10 years. I know this is what
Mhm.
I'm going to be doing for a long time. I've already been doing it for 8 years. So I just want to stay put and I want to find an agency that I can grow with. And it's been hard.
Oh,
Um,
yes. I agree with that's me too. Me too. And that's exactly what you said. I would even say like for the next 30 years, like I want to be able to be in this business if I want to. Where could I be for the next 30 years? Yeah, I'm glad you
yeah.
said that because that's what we're looking for as well. Like we want somebody like that. And that's actually why I came here.
Yeah, that's what I need. That I need stability. I'm tired of, of I liked the idea in the beginning of, going with these starter companies that were, just trying to get into the markets. And I've, helped two agencies start basically from the ground up. And it was
Mm,
challenging, it was fun, it was a learning experience, but they unfortunately they went bankrupt. So it's a hard business to succeed in. So I'm just looking for, an agency I can stick around with for a while, for a long time.
absolutely. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that because I started out just like you did with a startup, and they were he merged into a 51-year-old final expense telesales and field group, and they're still doing great, and they're doing great. But my problem there was I was 0215 life and health licensed, but I couldn't offer Medicare. I couldn't
Mm,
offer annuities. I couldn't offer IULs. I couldn't be property and casualty with auto insurance or home insurance. Like I wouldn't be allowed to ever sell that with that company. And I didn't like that. I was like, if I'm going to be somewhere for the long haul and build up y'all's book of business and I don't even get to keep that book of business, and then I can't even offer my clients these other products that I keep having to say, no, sorry, I can't let you buy this from me. You got to go buy it from somebody else. That was like I could not stand that, and that's the
right.
biggest reason why I actually, after 4 years, moved away from my prior life insurance company to do something I've never done before. I was completely 1099 there, but I didn't have to pay for anything. But I got like 50% commission here. We're starting all life insurance agents at 100% commission. I know that you're a Medicare agent mostly, but just so you know, you can of course sell both, and we're going to put you at 100% commission on all life insurance carriers starting out, and then that can grow, of course. But that's just like FFL. That's what they start their agents at. That's what we do as well with our life agents on the
Hmm.
side. But then, Medicare wise, of course, like we talked about, the enrollment for you would be, I believe it's 265 starting out. And that's just me. I'm putting you there at my discretion. A lot of agents start, at closer to 200 per enrollment. But because you have so much experience, there's 5 tiers within the organization. I'm starting you automatically at tier two. And that's what I would do for anyone with your caliber of experience and what you bring to the table.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And then from there, you're saying I could work myself up to the different tiers depending on production.
Absolutely. Like if you, I got to check with, it's between like, it's really at the discretion of myself, Ben, and Ryan. But what I would tell you is if someone puts in one solid month of production that's of your caliber, after those first 30 days, I would automatically be moving you to tier one. So yeah, it would not take long, to get you right there to where you're making the highest level commission that you can make. And
What
that
is
doesn't
tier
even
one again?
include, say again.
What was tier one
Oh,
again?
I believe that it is $301 per enrollment, or it is $300 per enrollment. I think it's 301. So at 301, I know it's not higher than that. You also can do the health risk assessments that you know about, and we actually get agents getting anywhere from 25 to $75 per HRA, depending on the carrier that they write that HRA with.
That is
Like for
awesome.
Humana, I don't know if it's 75 or 50, but somewhere, and that's every single client every single time. If you complete that, then that's what you'll get on top of the 300 or the 265.
That is crazy. We actually do that for free right now. Like we don't get paid anything.
That's crazy. And see, here's the deal. I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, and I'm just going to say this with full transparency. One day, we would like to own a call center like the one that you work for.
Mm-hmm.
where our agents are paid in a similar structure as the way you're paid.
Mm-hmm.
And you're making, the organization, the company, LC Financial Group would be making the commissions off of every enrollment and then paying a salary, hourly, and bonus structure to the callers that are in that call center, because a lot of people like to be W-2 with that peace of mind on health insurance, with those perks of being a W-2
Mm-hmm.
versus the 1099 like you and me, who we don't mind being 1099. We want to have a call center for W-2, and then we want to keep our independent agents independent. So what you work for right now, we want to open something like that, in the not too distant future,
That's awesome. Yeah, that is
because
awesome.
it's very profitable for those people that are collecting those commissions and overrides. Obviously, as you can tell, if they're making 375,
Right.
and
Yeah, they make a lot of money.
one more thing, Alexis, that I'll be fully transparent about. If you sell Humana with us, because we're owned by Humana, an additional $300 in revenue is paid to your FMO for marketing dollars. So if you're an executive in our company, there's opportunity to be able to collect those marketing dollars to use them to hire, recruit, and build your own team within our organization. So you would be looking at potentially $675 individually as an executive per enrollment. But you'd have to talk more to Ben and Ryan about the marketing dollars that are spent, because I'm not going to like say, hey, this is exactly how it is with the marketing dollars. But I do know, and they will tell you that they do collect that money off of every single enrollment from certain carriers.
That is
So you
awesome.
can
Yeah,
see
I
how
saw
much money
Humana.
potential there is. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
mean, no, you're fine. So Humana and United are probably my two highest. Humana's
Yeah.
probably like 60 to 70% of my book, and then United is the rest. And United I love for my dual members, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's pretty much who I
Yeah,
saw
like
the most.
because of the over-the-counter benefits with UHC.
Right. Yeah, the grocery card and all that. Everyone always calls in for that.
Yes. So you're what you're telling me is exactly same here for me. And then I would want to ask you, how many enrollments do you do per week on average?
So when I was a 1099, I was doing about 3 enrollments a day during the slow
Nice.
season. And then during the busy season, I was at Health IQ and I was doing about 5 during the busy
Wow.
time.
So is it safe to say, let's see here, and how many days excuse me, how many days a week are you working during
I
those
was
busy
every day,
seasons?
Monday through Friday.
Oh, cool. So let's say you did five, it'd be like 25 a week. So yeah, did you know that if you did like 400 enrollments, and let's just say like, I don't know what your retention is. Would you say it's in the 70s
I would say it's
or
higher than
higher?
that, maybe like 85.
That's awesome. Well, good job on that. That's incredible. So let's just say like you enrolled 400 people during an annual election period. Would you say that's safe to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then we multiply that by 0.80. Let's say 80% of them stay on the books. That's 320. Let's say you're making $275 per one of those. In January, you would be paid $88,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
So,
Yeah, and I know 1099 is way better than W2. Like I said, right now I'm only getting paid $8 a policy.
hmm.
It went up a little bit, I think, to like 20, but even then it's not much.
Yeah, I mean, like when you got someone who, we've had people do 10 in a day before, imagine you do 10 and all of them are going to stay. Let's say 10 times like 275 just for 10 enrollments, you'd make 2750 during the busy season, like right now. Yeah, so like let's just say you did 10 in a week during the busiest season of the year, which is like kind of low, right, for this season.
Yeah, it's super.
Um, yeah, super low, right? That'd be like what you should do during the slow season. Let's just pessimistically say you did 10 for 7 weeks, so 70 enrollments times two. We'll just say, yeah, 70 enrollments stay on the books times that 275. In January, you're still going to make $19,250 for 7 weeks of work if you perform below average.
Yeah,
You
that's what I
know?
was, because that's what I'm looking. I'm looking for bigger opportunities. Right now, they're only paying us $17 an hour, and then basically
Mm.
nothing for, the sales. And then they do give us health insurance, but it's super expensive. Like for me and my family, and my husband's not even on it. It's like $600 because they don't really contribute much.
Hmm.
So yeah, very expensive. Not worth it to me. I think I have way too much experience to. I feel like I'm cutting myself short staying here.
Well, someone like you with all that experience and you knowing what you're doing, and I mean, oh my goodness, do you guys use Sunfire?
I we do not. We have our own dialer system, but I've used Sunfire in my previous agency before this.
Did you like it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably even better now than it's ever been. Like I could show you, like, do you use CMS Marks?
Yes, we use Marks.
I love Marks, so I use Marks and Sunfire together.
Yeah,
And I can use Humana to pull their Medicaid number. I can use CMS Marks to get their Medicare number. Because I mean, like, let's just say you had a life insurance customer that you signed up, and then if you have their social, obviously with CMS Marks, or you could just get their Medicare number. Either way, that's what I like about it.
yeah,
And so it's incredible just to be able to use those three things together. You have all the information you need, and then it's just like, okay, which one's going to be the best based on your needs and wants?
yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
just super. So yeah, it's exciting to be with you here. I don't want to take up too much of your time, and of course, any questions you have. I mean, really, what it would be is like we're preparing everybody to start with this in January during the open enrollment period. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I have
um,
a few more questions. Do we get renewals? Because I know you said we get to keep our book,
yep,
but does that
you sure
include
do.
renewal?
Yeah. So here's how the renewals work. Great question. Can't believe I didn't even go over that. So let's say like you enroll somebody, and let's just do like easy math. One moment. Let me do this for you. I'm going to share my entire screen. Can you see my screen okay? Well, I guess it's about to pop up here.
Yes, I
Can you
see
see
that.
that? Okay, here's a calculator. So let's say like for your tier one, because let's face it, you're going to be tier one like after 30 days. Like, let's face it. So 300, I'll tell you, it might even be, we'll see what we can do on that. So 300 times, um, well, you know that like if you sign somebody up in January, you get paid $300.
Correct.
Okay. Now, if you enroll them in February, do you know how much you're going to get paid on that?
So it'd be minus 1 month.
Correct. So it would be 275,
Hmm.
right? So in February you get paid 275. In March you would get paid 250. Let's say it's September. You can imagine, minus 9 months, you're only getting paid $75, but you're going to get $25 every month after that first year. After their first payment, let's say you sign them up in September, you got paid $75 when they made their first payment. Well, now in November, how much are you going to get paid?
25.
Correct. And every month thereafter for as long as that client's on the books with you.
That is awesome.
Yep. So that's the cool thing about the renewals. And most we find that on average, your clients stay with you. You get paid on them for 5 to 7 years. So super cool, to
Cool.
see that as an opportunity. It's almost sounds too good to be true, but I'll tell you what. Innovative Financial Group is one of the fastest growing companies in the United States, and it's in the Inc. 5000, number 75. They are a multi-hundred, it's well over $100 million a year. I don't know what the numbers are, but it's a privately owned company, I believe. So I don't know if the numbers are public, but I mean, they have 10,000 agents in the organization. So it's not like a small little startup because they've been in business for over 10 years. So
Oh, yeah.
they've made it. I mean, that's you got to think about it. 99% of all businesses fail in 10 years. There's
Yeah.
34 million small businesses in America. I believe over 22 million of those businesses are one person, independent contractors, 1099s.
Wow.
So that means there's over 10 million businesses in America, and out of all the businesses there ever are, is it 9 out of 10 businesses fail in the first year? And then out of those that make it to a year, 90% of those will fail by 5 years. And it goes from there all the way up to the 10-year mark,
Right.
where 99% of all the people that started out year one, so this company has that track record. Ryan Lodi himself has done nothing else except for this since he's been able to work at age 18 after high school.
Me
So
too.
he's only That's cool. Yeah. So he's doing great. We're doing great. We have a lot of people that are doing well. I've got 4 years of experience in this business. I was a top producer at my other company with 300 agents there. I mean, actually, technically, I was number 8 in my first 6 months, number 11 my second 6 months during 2020, the COVID pandemic. I had started a little bit at the end of 2019, like July, August. And every time I was on the phone with somebody who I'd never met, I had to get their social security number and their bank account number over the phone and enroll them into every life insurance policy that I did.
Yeah, that's hard.
So that's harder. You got to think about it. I mean, they might like you, but they're not going to necessarily give you their bank account. So,
Right. Yeah, you have to build a lot of
but plus
trust
life,
in.
that's right. And then life insurance gets put on the back burner. Nobody's going to go without their health insurance when they have a
Right.
family.
So I was gonna ask that. So you mentioned that we could do life as well.
Hmm.
Do you guys do ACA, the under 65 market, or no, just Medicare and life?
That is a great question. We don't like our primary focus straight up is uh, Medicare, right?
Right.
For just like what you're doing now. However, I and we have the ability to do anything we want to do. So, like if you want to do ACA and one of these days, let's say a year goes by and you're like, man, that's cool. Let's just be straight up. If you do like 500 apps in a year, is it real for you to hit 500 apps in a year in your mind?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. If you do 500 apps in a year, you're making over $10,000 per month in residual income that next year, to your second year.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's good, right? I mean, that's pretty, you could take care of your family, within your first year, 2 years here. That's you're getting there. I mean, and there's no cap. So that doesn't even include the fact that, I'm going to see somebody like you running a team. I mean,
So
I
if I
don't
was
know
gonna
you very
ask
well.
you if there's like room
Yeah.
for advancement, or is it just like you? Because I was gonna ask, like, okay, is there like if I bring people, because there's a lot of people that are unhappy at
Hmm.
the place that I'm at now, that want to switch, that want to move. So if I
Hmm.
do bring them with me, I was wondering if there was like a referral bonus, or if I could start a team, or how that works.
Yes. So, Alexis, I'm going to just be fully, like we have nothing here that's not, we're just fully transparent and just everything's clear as day. There's no nothing to hide behind here. So basically, yes, if you brought those individuals over, and I want you to do it in the right way. Obviously, I don't want you to like,
Right.
just be ethical about it and do the right thing. But obviously, if people are held back where they are, they should not be held back if they feel that they can do more. And so, what I would say to you is that you would automatically get to have an override on every single one of those individuals that you bring on. And you get to dictate where they start. So if you got little Sally over here, who she's a sweet lady, but she is very difficult, and you know that you're going to have to hold her hand a lot, you can do that if you want to, but I would start her at tier 5, where she's making $200 in enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would get everything in between. So let's say you're at tier 1 and she makes an enrollment. I believe you're making anywhere from 200 to 225 for her. She's making anywhere, you're going to be making anywhere from 100 to $75 per enrollment that she does.
That is
So that you can
awesome.
see that that's pretty good money. Now, if Sally's doing amazing, Sally's gotten a lot better. All right, Sally, we're moving you to tier 4. Okay, now tier 3. You can determine as the executive where you want to put Sally. And I'll tell you what, Alexis, do you go by Alexis or
Yeah.
Lexi?
Either way, my family calls me Alex. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I have a good friend. She's Lexi. Um, if I called her Alexis, she'd be like, "Why are you calling me that?" So
Yeah.
anyway, I just have to. So anyway, with the executives, we need more executives. I mean, as you know, it's easy to find somebody who can sell Medicare. I
Hmm.
mean, compared to someone who could lead individuals and help them do what they've done, and help them grow, help them be better, know about their personal lives. Like really, we want people to do well in every area of their life, not just here.
Right.
That's
And
important
that's
to
kind of
us.
the role that I have now on my team, which is why I feel, not as appreciative, not to bash anyone, but our manager's never here. And so I've
Mm,
kind of taken on that manager role in our team. And so everyone, goes to me for everything, but obviously I'm not getting paid for that. Um,
mhm,
so that's why I know a lot of them would want to follow me. And they've been asking me, like, what are you doing after AP? Because after AP, like, they do want to leave, whether they follow me or not, they want to leave. So it would be
mhm,
beneficial for me since I've already built relationships with them to bring me along, especially because I know that they are good agents and they just haven't had the opportunity to be their
mhm.
best self because of the leadership that they've had.
Right. That makes total sense. I can relate to what you're saying. I came from I worked for Verizon for 2 years, and I loved a lot of things about my job. I really loved that job. But when you look at like the future, like what's the future look like 5 or 10 years from now? That was like, oh, I don't know if I could go through, that knowing what they're going to make and what they have to put up with. And so that's when I kind of chose a different path, in life. And I got awards, when I worked there. There were 17,000 reps in the country, and I finished in the top 8% of the Eastern United States. And so we got to go on a really cool trip for all the top producers, and that was cool. But like you said, we want to be able to grow. We don't want to be like capped out at what we can do, and that's why I'm here. I mean, I was the top producer on the fastest growing team in a 51-year-old company. And like to give you an example, my old executive, he was doing over a third of the entire agency's revenue himself, and he'd
Oh,
only been with the company for this will be his 4th year next month. It'll be his 4 year anniversary. We did our we did he every year he does like new records, and I was the top producer on his team, and I started with him before he even started with the company. And I did have a team, and I helped that team do really well. But there were some reasons why I couldn't stay with it because I said, guys, we got to be able to do this. I want to be able to offer this. So I left the company for a few months 2 years ago. And when I did, it kind of put me back on my leadership role. They said, "Oh, you got to just be an agent again. You can't have a team right now until 1 year of production. Then we'll let you be a team manager again." And so I would see these guys that I trained, in a management role. Even the leadership of those guys knew, like, "Hey, you're better than those guys, but you shouldn't have left." And because you left, like it was like a loyalty thing for them.
mm-hmm.
But they're going to do $40 million this year in final expense telesales. The year before they did 27 million.
Oh, wow.
The only reason I'm telling you this is because they're explosive growth. They're doing well. I was a leader there on the fastest and best team in that company, and the only reason I'm not there anymore is because I can't offer Medicare. I can't offer car insurance. I can't do AC. I can't do anything else that I want to do. But here we can,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
what I
why I'm
wanted.
here. Also, Ryan, I didn't even go into this much and I haven't touched on it enough, but you may or may not know Ryan Lodi is an incredible individual who's extremely disciplined, hardworking, dedicated, kind, a great leader with personal experience, with tremendous volume of numbers. Like in 3 days, he did 100 apps
Oh
last
my
year.
God. Holy
Yeah,
smoke.
like that's the kind of guy he is. He has over 1,500 final expense clients that he wrote before he even started doing Medicare.
Hmm.
So he's just a machine, and
Yeah, I don't think I've ever
he
heard of
wants.
that.
We want people to thrive. Like we want to see people do very well. We don't want you to be like, you know what, Alexis is great. She makes a lot of money for the company, and we're just going to put her here, and she can't grow. Like that's ridiculous to us. Like that's
Yeah.
why we're all here together.
Mm-hmm.
is because of why you're wanting to maybe look at this is the same reason why we came here and why we're here now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that anybody could really understand or relate to what you're telling me better than we can,
Yeah.
because
Me,
this isn't just talk.
and it was like I think after COVID when the industry really changed because that's when they started to do the more enrollments over the phone and stuff, and that really opened up a lot of opportunities for agencies. I started off in the field where I had to go basically door knocking, trying to find events and find leads. And so finding an agency now, it's so common to find agencies that, do provide leads, but they take a commission or whatever. But when I
Mhm.
started, it wasn't. I had to work for every lead that I have. And so I think with that background, it makes me so much more appreciative. And I know even at the company that I'm at now, they do track conversion rate. And I've always made sure that I had a high conversion rate because I know what it takes to get those leads. And I know even not every lead that comes through is going to be the best. And people do like complain about that because they started off with receiving leads. But because I know how hard it takes to get that, I appreciate it a lot more.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
when I first started, I live in El Paso, Texas, which is
Oh,
a
cool.
predominantly like Hispanic community. I don't speak
Mhm.
Spanish. And so it was really hard for me to succeed in this market when I first started off. And nobody really wanted to help me. You had veterans that were like, oh, like basically like you're not gonna last because it's a hard industry to succeed in.
Mhm.
And within 3 months, I was like the top agent in the El Paso market for WellCare. I worked specifically for WellCare. And then
Wow.
after that, after a year, I was number one in Texas for WellCare. The year after that, I was number one for Aetna. I had switched to Aetna for Texas. So it was just that drive of, that statistic that you said in the beginning of a lot of people
Mm.
don't succeed in this industry and it is super hard and it's not for everyone. But I know for me, it's something I'm probably going to be doing for a long time.
That's cool. Yeah, I love that. I'm not going to leave this industry either. Like, I mean, when you make it past 3 years in this business, it's no joke. I mean, that's a big accomplishment. That's amazing. So, were you number one for Aetna and WellCare, within WellCare and Aetna itself, or were you within your organization
No,
number
with
one for those
WellCare
carriers?
and Aetna themselves. Like, so I was on the W-2 side because I worked specifically for the carrier. So on their W-2
Oh,
unit for Texas in WellCare is number one. And then when I switched the next year, I was number one in Aetna.
wow, that's awesome. Well done. Like, that's so cool. Like, I mean, did they give you like they better give you some sort of award that you got.
Yeah, they
That's
gave me like
cool.
a front runner bonus, and then they paid for like my marketing. They paid like for my AHIP and things like that.
Oh, good. Look, I don't want AHIP to be, that's something that we're going to give so much to the agent that the only thing they really have to pay for is their AHIP once a year. And then I know they were doing like a give back thing for that too. So I'll have to ask the other guys about that.
But that's
But
not a big
I
deal,
pay.
honestly. Like even just the
Yeah.
commission that you guys us start us off with is a huge
Mhm.
jump from what I'm at now. The $17 an hour that I'm making is not worth it to me to give up majority of the commission because I know I'm a good salesperson. So I mean, yeah, the hip's not a big deal. I was just curious when I had asked that. Um,
Okay.
what else was
Yeah.
I gonna ask? Chargebacks. How do you guys handle chargebacks? Do you guys pay like 75 up front and keep 25, or how does that
You
work?
know, I'm going to be completely honest, because I really switched over to work with Ryan a few months ago, and I, I mean, well, I started the process a few months ago. To be honest with you, like I started this month with enrollments into this business, but when you've done final expense, to me, this was just like learning how to drive a stick shift. You know, now it's a lot easier, right? So before I was driving an automatic and now I'm driving a stick shift. So it's not too bad at all for me to transition. I don't know how the chargebacks work. I can let Ryan or Ben take that question and answer it.
Okay, yeah,
Whatever,
no problem.
whatever, yeah, yeah, whatever you think they would normally do is probably what they do. I I really have no idea. I know in life insurance, it's every month that they pay is a subtraction of what you're going to get charged back. So if they cancel in November, but you send them up in January, you would probably you'd probably keep everything but $25.
Right, the last month. So yeah, so sometimes so there's two ways. So industry, so I've had it that way where they pay you up until basically they cancel, and I've had it where they pay you the full commission up front, only 75%, they keep 25, and then if they remain on the books, then you get the other 25 later, basically. Just so that it's not
Yeah,
like a huge chunk like of a chargeback, but either way, I'm used to it. I was just curious.
that's a good one. Yeah, I'll let them get that one. And we'll get it to you. I'll get you that answer.
Okay,
Um,
I think that was
yeah,
it
that's
for my
cool.
questions. Oh, last one. Sorry. How often are we paid? Is it like once a
I bel
month?
I believe that IFG Innovative Financial Group pays weekly.
Oh wow.
Obviously, during a period like this where everybody we're enrolling, that plan doesn't start till January. You already know that with 1099, you don't get paid anything until January.
Okay.
Um, that's the only drawback. Now, what I will tell you is that there are bonuses you can earn at any time of the year, but there are bonuses you can earn during the 7 week period on top of the fact that you can sell life insurance, and life insurance gets paid out daily.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so it's pretty cool. Like I had a lady that would not buy life insurance from me the other day, even though that's what she originally reached out for.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I helped her with her Medicare, she said, "Oh, can we get that life insurance too?" And like, to be honest, she had forgotten that she actually hung up on me whenever I was trying to get her bank to pay for her life insurance that she wanted for her son.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to leave the money to her son, and then she like hung up on me. And then a couple weeks later, we're talking again. I didn't even bring it up. I pretended like it never happened, and I got her Medicare. I signed her up with United Healthcare or Aetna, I think it was. And then she's like, "Oh, by the way," after I'd done like the health risk assessment and everything, she's like, "Oh, by the way, can we get that life insurance too?" she she gave me her card. She was actually, unfortunately, she was Direct Express, so she was faced with a card. You get paid monthly when they pay with a card for life insurance. If they pay with their bank account, you get advanced 75% of the whole year up front. Let's say they pay. Let's say they make a $83 a month payment. That's $1,200 a year. Or I'm sorry, that's $1,000 a year. 83.33 is $1,000 that they're going to pay a year. You make 75% of that up front. So you make 750. When they make their first payment, boom, 750 goes into your bank account. So if they pay that day, you'll get it within a few days. If they pay like at the beginning of next month, you'll get paid at the beginning of next month. So on the third of every month, I got a lot of money that comes in from life insurance. And you get paid on life insurance for 10 years.
For 10 years, what do you mean? Like renewals?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm not too
Yes.
familiar with life insurance.
It's okay. It's a treated as a bonus with LC Financial Group, but let me tell you, it is an amazing bonus because I have had people who paid, $100 a month, and I made $1,200 that year off of that one sale. I
Yeah.
used to do 10 of those a week. Not not
Oh my
necessarily that
goodness.
big,
That's a lot.
but not necessarily that big every time. Sometimes they pay $40, $50 a month, $60 a month. Sometimes I've had a guy who's paid $490 a month. I've made $3,500 on one life insurance sale. I'm not kidding, not exaggerating. That doesn't happen all the time, maybe once a month, you know?
So I think, yeah, when I would cross sell and do final expense, I think it ranged between like the $50 to $70 range when I would sell them that. But like I said, I only did it for a year and then I kind of stopped. Not because I wanted
Mhm.
to, but just I ended up joining an agency that I didn't do life, so I just, didn't do it. But I'm eager
Wow.
to learn about the life side.
Oh yeah, like
Very good thing.
that's where I'm really, really, really good. Like I'm not trying to be like, I can be humble, but I also sometimes I undersell myself. I always wanted to be a master at sales, and I train every single day on that. And every single day we have Cardone University. I don't know if you know who Grant Cardone is.
No, I don't.
He is one of the best sales trainers in the world, and I worked for him. And then we have his online sales training university because I like to keep sharp. Like, hey, what can I do when this happens, or how can I get better here? But more importantly, how can I help my agents who aren't as good? And it's Cardone University because you can have it anywhere, anytime. If you're doing some laundry and you're like, I want to listen to something productive. Cardone University. Oh, he said this. Oh, I'm going to try that. You know, or maybe my new person who's not very good at sales, they could be listening to and learning on it because they're working hard. So anything life insurance, Ryan and I are like really good at life insurance. It's like second nature to us
And you
when it
guys do
comes to
trainings
like,
for that?
oh yes,
Okay,
I
okay.
have personally, I have, oh my goodness, like we just need people that are the problem that we have, Alexis, and you probably have seen this. The number one and two problems is finding people who are self-sufficient. When they don't know the answer, they try to find it. And then
Yes.
when they absolutely cannot find it, then they ask
Fine.
the
Yes.
person right above them. And then um, people that'll actually work. That's the number one and two things.
Yes.
Independent individuals who I will help when they're working really hard and they're putting in a lot of effort and work. I will help you left and right. But when you're like working 5 hours a week and you want me to come give you all the answers to the tests, like that's not fair.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll go broke. I won't be able to feed my family if I do that with everybody. So you understand how that works because you run a team. But then just people that will show up and work. Those are so we need leaders, like because you know that they're hard to find. You know that the
Yeah.
really
It
good
is.
employee who just does everything right is hard to find.
Yeah. It definitely is. I struggle with that on a daily basis with the team, with asking questions that are easily accessible if they just, look for it. So I understand.
Yes, we have all the answers that people need in a few places. Like, I mean, let me just do this for you really fast. I mean, I'm kind of excited. So I just want to show you my entire screen over. Let
And I
me
think
just
it's just
open up
that
a new.
go-getter mindset that is hard to find. And I don't know if it's because, like I said, after COVID, everyone is kind of spoon-fed like the leads and things like that. If it just because it became easier, like
Hmm.
agents kind of became a little bit lazier. I don't know. I don't know what the change was because when I was a field agent, everyone was hustling. Everyone, because if they didn't, then they didn't get paid.
It's true. It's gotten a lot easier for people to come in and be lazy
Yeah.
because like our processes. I'll give you an example. My other company, their onboarding process absolutely phenomenal, but they still deal with the same problems. Here, people have to be a little bit more like, okay, you know, it's a little harder to, the onboarding is like a little bit more spread out because we're refining it and perfecting it because Ryan has had his own agency for a few years under Innovative Financial Group. So, like, we had a guy, he lives in a different part of the state, and he had a group there that he wanted to work with that was with Innovative Financial Group. And he left Ryan's team to work with that group because they were from where he was from. So even though ultimately him and Ryan didn't work out together in terms of executive partnerships and teams, he still was able to stay within Innovative Financial Group. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm from Oklahoma, by the way, so I'm going to be moving back to the Midwest in the future, and I will be starting an office. We want to open an office in every state.
Oh, nice.
That's our goal. I have family in Texas. I love Texas, the Dallas, Fort Worth areas.
Dallas. That's where we want to move next year.
Oh, sweet. Oh my goodness. For you to start we should get you an office in Dallas. Like that's what we need to, that needs to be like the big goal. Like, hey, I want my own office in Dallas because I'm in Miami, Florida. My wife is from Venezuela. She speaks Spanish and English. Thank God for her. I got her license in life insurance. And she's going to come into this business and she's going to help me create a Hispanic market because we found that the Hispanic community is underserved with
They
their
are.
life insurance and their Medicare.
Yeah, they are. That's so funny. I just got my husband to get his Medicare insurance license, like
Oh, cool.
literally a few months ago.
Oh, that's so cool. Congratulations.
I'm like,
It's
you have to
so,
join this industry with me. And I tell him it's so awesome. And unfortunately, we chose an agency that isn't as awesome. But I'm like, I promise you, like, this is a good industry to be in.
it's a great industry to be in, but unfortunately, I was honestly being held back where I was. And those guys know they were making good money off of me, and they just want you to be a good little worker and do your job and just you have shiny object syndrome. You can't keep your eye on the prize and keep focused. Just follow the roadmap that we have here, and you'll make it to where you want to be. But the road to get where they want you to go is going to take way too long, and there's no guarantee, and you can't keep your book, and if you leave, you're dead to us, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
that's just not how it is here. As you can see here on my screen, this is ryanlodiuniversity.com. It's through Lightspeed, one of the best training platforms in the world. We have a broker handbook, and you can go through this and understand the ins and outs in greater detail of our company. These
Yeah.
videos are 1 to 2 minutes long, and so as you can see, we have a pretty nice little course that we can put through yourself, but not only yourself, but like your agents. Like we have an entire module here where it talks about your bonuses, and this is Ryan himself just going through within like about a minute or so. This video is only 2 minutes long, so he keeps them nice and short and just breaks it down into a very simple format, so that way your agents in the future could just plug right in here and you don't have to individually explain it to every single person that you talk to.
Yeah. And I think also that would be something like if I were to start a team. Well, I do want to start a team. That's my goal. That's been my goal. I just being selective with the agents that I pick. I think because there's such a high turnover
Hmm.
that they just do like it's more about volume for them when it comes to agents. And I think maybe that's why, they're not willing to work as hard. But for me, I think I would rather have fewer agents that work really hard than a bunch of agents that, barely submit or
Yeah.
don't want to clock in on every day or whatever.
You know what? Both things are important, quality and volume. And unfortunately, with recruiting, you do have to go volume. Otherwise, as a manager, you'll kind of starve a little bit because, as you know, when you become a manager, a lot of times you take a little bit of a short-term pay cut to have a longer-term time freedom. Because you and I could both make calls until we're both blue in the face every single day. But ultimately, I see you being an executive, someone who's running a team, growing a team, and we want to get you into a position where you can step out of the business and work on your business instead of being stuck in the chair in the business day in and day out. If you want to go to your daughter's, you have kids?
Yes, I have
How
two
old are
small
they?
children. One is 4 months and one is 2 years old.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
like to be a parent. And so, whenever they get to playing sports or you dance or whatever it is, you're going to probably want to be able to be there, like any great mother would.
Right.
And this business is going to create that freedom where without a doubt, no one's telling you you're not going to your daughter's dance recital. But more importantly, if you guys go on a vacation somewhere, are you still going to be making money on that vacation? Well, in a lot of cases, you wouldn't be, but if you have a team, you would be, and you
Right.
can you can still support your team in Colorado on a skiing trip or whatever. So this is Grant Cardone University. We provide this to agents that at least will use it and appreciate it. You have certifications here. I've been on this platform for 7 years personally training. So I'm new to it with this organization, but it was provided to me at no cost. Ryan pays a corporate account like this costs thousands of dollars per year. And this is going to be provided to someone like yourself if you want to step into it. As you can see, you've got follow-up strategies, you've got ways to stay motivated, basic selling 101 for people who are new to sales,
That is awesome.
customer care, like I'll give you an example. Grant Cardone goes into it and he says, um, like, where do you fail in customer service? And he goes into it and it actually has Spanish subtitles too.
Oh, I do
So,
know him. I'm sorry. I didn't know that was his name, but I have seen him all over TikTok and I watch him a lot.
oh, cool. I worked for Grant for a year in his office on his sales team selling this platform, Cardone University, to business owners by a cold call. So that's kind of where I came from before I got into life insurance. That was 7 years ago. I've been in sales my entire life. I'm going to be 32 next month. This is going to give you every single thing your people need to know about closing, follow up. It's got all of Grant's books that we need for sales. Um, you know, Ways for your people to be motivated, whether it be purpose, energy, potential, time management, goals. You know, Things that might be normal for you to think about may not be so normal as for your agents to think about.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is really, really awesome. And you're
Mhm.
saying all the agents that they have access to this?
Yeah, like we do have to pay per seat, so it's gonna Ryan and Ben do say that it is offered to each agent, but if we find that an agent's not even going to use it, then we're going to like give that seat to somebody else,
Right.
who will actually use it because we pay per user. I believe, to be honest with you, Alexis, I'm pretty sure it's anywhere from like $70 to $100 per user.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, so just that's kind of like for sure, and just a few couple days. It says I've signed in 31 times this month. I have passed 84 modules. Um, and so anyway, the point is just that like I probably got access to this 2 weeks ago. And one thing I would tell you is just that like I've been on this for 7 years. I know people that make $700,000 a year who've been training on this for that same amount of time. And and they'll tell you, I was like, why do you still do it? You've been on this thing for 7 years. You've watched every video like 5 times. Like, why are you doing that? And they said, well, why would I stop doing what got me where I'm at today?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always learning. Even now, like there, especially the Medicare industry is always changing, but I'm always learning, and there's always something that you can learn from somebody else, especially sales wise. Like you'll hear someone say a rebuttal that maybe you haven't thought of, and I'm always open to growing. Like I know the basics, and I know, I know how to get the job done, but I'm not, I guess, like
Mhm.
too high up on my horse to think I'm done learning and I'm good.
Totally. And that's the kind of person we need, like I was really good at sales, but then like I had to confront the fact that my leadership was not where it needed to be. Like I couldn't understand for a long time why everyone didn't just work like I did. And
Yes.
then when I finally like learned how to be a better leader and like work with people and understand that like it really is about caring for people and helping them do well, and not just their work but with their family, with their church, everything that's important to them needs to be important to their leader. So anyway, um, we give everyone the tools they need to be successful. It's just a matter of like finding people who are willing to put in work. And I want to be here. I don't want to have another job again. Like this is me. This is it. I don't want to have another job anywhere else. And so Ryan has given me a lot of ability to grow here from the moment that I started. So you and I are on the phone, but I've been here for less than a year, and but he knows who I am. He's known me for over a year. So it's not like I just met Ryan and Ryan made me an executive. But if you kick butt for a few months, or maybe you just want to take that first year to just kick butt and build up some renewals and some sales, then by year two, like by 365 days in, and you're starting to collect your residual income, there is absolutely no reason at all why you cannot go full time into your team. You can start building your team from the very first day that you get here. There's no reason why that should not be the case, in my opinion. And I'm sure that Ryan and Ben would 100% agree with me. So,
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really
sky's the
excited about the
limit.
opportunity. I know, like I said, it's blackout right now, so there's nothing really much I could do for the rest of this year. I heard
Hmm.
that they were doing releases in January, like they were giving the release
Correct.
numbers in January, so I shouldn't
Yep.
have a problem with that. So I do
That's
want to
yeah.
stay
This
in touch and
yeah.
shoot for January, next year.
Yes, let's do every this. This what's crazy is it's only 8 weeks away. Let's stay in touch. Let's prepare for January. We'd love to have you come on right away. The cool thing about starting in January is second second busiest time of the year, maybe, right?
I don't know. I
Or
prefer
is it?
OEP for me.
Oh, good. Well, then perfect. I see you know more about Medicare than me, and I know the final expense thing. So maybe in that way, Alexis, we could complement each other, because if I don't know the answer, Ryan knows it. So I can always ask Ryan if I don't know the answer. But when it comes to final expense, there's not a question I think that anyone could ask that would throw me. You
Yeah,
know, so we could complement each other in that way, because you
yeah,
certainly have more Medicare experience than me, and Ryan has more experience than me probably at both things. Because I've
yeah,
been here for 4 years in the business, but he's been in it for 7. So he switched from life insurance to Medicare after 3 years straight of life insurance. So it's really cool, to have someone above me who I can learn from, and that was a he used to do crazy numbers in life insurance. Like I know he's done $100,000 in annual premium in a month.
wow.
And I don't know if you know this, but most agents like their average is 2,500 a week.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
crazy.
to be able to do more he could do more in a week than people do in a month or 2 months.
That is awesome.
So yeah, so here, I appreciate you taking the time. I'm gonna
Yes,
send you
thank
an
you for
email.
talking with me.
Are you for sure? You think January, like that would be very real, and you're
January.
interested in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I am
Oh, hey,
interested.
I always forget this. I have one form that I wanted to fill out with you.
Okay.
Um, as soon as we get off this call, I know you probably have to work, right?
Yeah, I'm taking calls right now, actually, but it's fine. I'm sending
Can you
messages and
fill
stuff.
out? It's 14 things. Can we? Can you fill this out for me and then get it back to me? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it over to our careers team and contracting team.
Okay.
And then basically we'll just be ready to kind of rock and roll. We'll get prepared for January.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, sweet. All right, thank you. I'm going to send it over right now.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for
Thank
talking
you
with
very
me.
much.
Have a
You
good
have a
day.
good one. Thank you. Bye-bye.